Good evening, my friend. Welcome to the show. I am Lou Mongello. You are, of course, my friend, and I am super grateful for you being here tonight. If you are watching live, thank you for spending and sharing your Wednesday night with us. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget, every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, be sure to turn on notifications and see first in the Box People group, as you never know when else or where else I'll be going live. Spoiler alert, I'll be coming to you live this Friday morning from Disney's Animal Kingdom, as well as a special event middle of the week, next week. Stay tuned for more details. So excited to see so many familiar faces, new faces in the box from literally around the world. I've seen people posting from Canada, from overseas, people who are here on vacation. Welcome to Florida. It's 30,000 degrees, but where else would you rather be than right there, right now, except maybe Satu'li Canteen or the Boathouse or Morimoto, Homecoming. I mean, there's a lot of places that I would like to be. I'd really like to be at the Gran Destino at Three Bridges if it was a little bit cooler. If you haven't been there yet, you have got to go and check it out. Speaking of going to check it out, oh look, accidental segue. We talk all about this on this week's show. We talk all about the Gran Destino Tower, from the design, the decor, the inspiration, the history, the lobby, the dining, the restaurants, the snacking, the dining, of course, the rooms, and how this not only fits in to Coronado Springs and Walt Disney World as a whole, but how I think this is the first resort, spoiler alert, that is going to usher in a dramatic shift in terms of how we look at and how we classify Walt Disney World resorts. This has been referred to as a quote-unquote lifestyle resort. It made a lot more sense when I got in and spent the evening there to see exactly what they mean. And I think this and the Riviera and some other things that may be coming, we'll get to that soon. We're going to talk about Expo, by the way. I think this is going to be a very interesting time in the Walt Disney World parks and resorts. By the way, if you're watching live, sit back, relax, get comfortable, grab a snack, invite a friend, tag them, and have them watch and join along, because we've got a lot to chat about this week. And if you've been paying attention to the Disney Parks blog and the, I can't even call it the Twitterverse anymore, the social verse, D23 has been slowly but frequently rolling out announcements in terms of what is going to be coming to this year's D23 Expo. First things first, I'd love to know from those of you in the box, who is going to Expo? Give me some hearts. Tell me yes. Tell me where you're coming from. Is this your first Expo? Your fifth Expo? By the way, this is the fifth day. I cannot believe this is 10 years since the very first D23 Expo. And I actually found some photos from our very first Expo. So quick little history lesson and story. I remember when D23 was first announced, right? Walt Disney World Wayback Machine. Disney was very slowly hinting about what is 23. I remember being on the conference call when they first announced this Disney fan club. And then not long thereafter, they announced the very first D23 Expo, and we were equally as confused as to what this expo was going to be. But as details came out and we understood that this was going to be sort of this massive fan gathering where all of the Disney brands under the Disney umbrella, which have gotten a lot bigger, by the way, we'll get to the Fox deal soon, came together. But more importantly, they allowed us, in terms of third-party content providers, exhibitors, vendors, to come together in that same room, under the same roof, which was both wonderful and continues to be wonderful and fascinating and incredibly welcoming. And I remember having no idea what to expect when I first went in. And I still remember it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday back then, because again, I don't think anybody knew what to expect. I remember setting up our booth the first day and going live and just giving a quick tour. And then when I went live the first day, my intention was only to go live for, I'm going to laugh when I say this, a half hour to an hour. Next thing you know, I was broadcasting the entire event all day long. And not that it matters, but I think I was the only one who was doing it. And it was a fascinating, from a vendor perspective, from a fan perspective, from a live broadcast perspective, from a social perspective, from a sociological perspective. It was amazing to see the dynamic on the show floor with the people who were there, with the people who were watching, and being able to connect them to that experience and literally bring it to them, as I continue to do and will do again this year. Yes, we'll be live again, D23ExpoLive.com. But how it really was, and this was not about me, it's not about WDW Radio, but it was a testament to the power of live video, because I'll never forget, we started broadcasting on Thursday. On Friday and Saturday, 2 people came up to me and said, I didn't know what this expo thing was or if I should go. I watched you on Thursday. I literally went online, bought a plane ticket, packed a bag, and came out that night because I didn't want to miss what was going on here. That to me was remarkable in terms of the power of live video, how compelling it can be. And what I wanted to do, which was, look what you're missing. It was, look what you're missing. You literally need to be here. When I said that, I thought I meant next year. Some people took it as I need to be there this year. It has grown. It has evolved. It has matured. It has expanded very much as well, as have we. Not just physically have I expanded over the years, but the expo itself has expanded. So I want to give you an idea. So for those of you who've been to expos in the past, let me know if you've been to any D23 expos in the past. Tell me, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Tell me what years you've been to what expos. I cannot believe I'm going to show this, but this is what, no, wait, oh, spoiler alert, wrong one. This is what the very first WDW Celebrations Magazine Disney World Trivia booth was. As you see, next door was Mouse Fan Travel. We tore down those walls, Mrs. Mankin, and decided that rather than have us just be next to each other, we decided to combine our forces, our families, and make it one big booth, which is what we've done every single year since. And now it's a combined WDW Radio Mouse Fan Travel booth. And I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag. It's going to be bigger, literally bigger, and I think better than ever. After 10 years, Becky, I think we're finally figuring out exactly how to do this. But I want to share another quick story. So if you look on the table, you see I had trivia books. I had, I think, just my first 2. Also, let me see, 2009. I had my first 2 audio tours. Now, some of the people, obviously, you recognize, you may not recognize, that's a skinny Lou Mongello. That's Deanna Mongello, my friend Lizette, Lori, her mom, and Justin Machoni, the former, he'll always be the chief magic officer. He was the guy that won the contest for the chief magic officer for Disney. If you remember that contest that they had so many years ago, Justin won it. We've become friends. I interviewed him when he won and quickly became friends and still remain in touch. And I see Justin every so often. Everybody in that picture, just really, really good people. But I want to quickly share a funny story that still sort of gives me the DTs every time I tell it. So again, not knowing what the first expo was going to be like or how many people were going to be in attendance, I had a lot of products. I had books, I had the audio tours, I had Celebrations Magazine. Tim didn't come, but we were partners on the magazine. So I reached out to D23 and I said, how many people are you expecting? They said, we really don't talk about numbers. I said, I understand that. I don't want to know as a WDW Radio perspective. I need to know as a vendor perspective, because I need to know how many magazines to order and buy and ship here, which is not, if you've ever done a convention, it's not an inexpensive proposition. And they said, well, we're expecting about 40,000 people. I said, oh, okay. So I start doing the math, figuring 40,000 people. Let's assume there are potentially some families of 4, some are 1s. I tried to average it out. How many people divided by 3 days? Let's just say we ordered a lot of magazines, like a lot of magazines. Now, what Disney did not tell me is that what they had done was they assumed that 40,000 was aggregate over all 4 days. So what they really figured was that it was going to be 10,000 people, but that also was including all of the staff, the employees, like I think the lady that was, serving hot dogs, that it wasn't quite 40,000 people. I didn't know that beforehand. I found out afterwards because at the end of the expo, and I think this is maybe the first time Becky may have seen me in a relatively frustrated state, because when the expo was over, all the stuff that they had stored for us in the back, again, which you have to pay for, getting things moved in the back, brought back out front, to the loading dock, from the loading dock, whatever. This was me. And all those boxes around me are boxes of Celebrations magazine. Now, again, they told me 40,000 people. It was really probably more like 7,000 people. Let's just say, do the math. And I had to make a decision at some point. I said, well, do I pay to ship all of these magazines back home? So, which means, do I pay them to bring it from the booth to the loading dock, pallet them, ship them, pick them back up, or do I pay them to destroy them? Do I leave them here? And it literally was cheaper, and I hated having to do this. It was cheaper to pay them to throw them out than it was for me to ship them home. And that's still radiating pain down the... It's all right. 10 years has gone by. I've moved on. Lesson learned. I will not be shipping tens of thousands of Celebrations magazine to Expo this year. But I will be shipping is actually some of the stuff that I've got right over there, and some of the stuff that I have on here, because again, we're going to be back for this year's Expo. We're going to have a booth again in the Collectors Forum. It wasn't called the Collectors Forum. It used to be called, Becky, what did they call it that first year? It wasn't the Collectors Forum. It was called something else. It wasn't even called like a fan forum. It was called something. It did take me about 2 hours to flip that switch. It was very, very painful. It was very, very painful, Judy and everybody else. But right, Christine, it was a lesson learned. And we'll have more. Yeah, Mark Jones, they're buried with the E.T. Atari games somewhere in a remote desert in New Mexico. If I listen, the Emporium, Corey Bassett, keeper of the box, who's going to be back again this year. Yeah, I mean, I was literally giving away magazines the last day, like left and right. But yeah, so it was called the Emporium the first year. So this year we are going to be back. We are not going to hint too much in terms of what the booth is going to have. Now, if you've been to our booths in the past, not the first year, but I guess, Becky, it was the last three. We always had a friend of mine introduced me to a remarkably talented artist whose medium that he works in is in balloons. And the first year he created a giant Disney Cruise Line ship that he had literally floating over our booth. We also had, the first year we had the Sorcerer Mickey hat floating over our booth. Then we had a Disney Cruise Line ship. Last year he built a Groot live, as well as almost a full-size AT-AT walker. And who knows what he is going to have in store this year. Those are always fun. Great pictures. A lot of other things that we are working on as well. Jeremy says, yeah, the balloon ship was amazing. It was remarkable, the job that he did with all of his balloon art. But like I said, this year, over the past couple of weeks or so, D23 has started to release some of the information in terms of what to expect. Now, one of the things I love about Expo is you think you know what to expect, and then they hit you with what you don't. And I mean that in the best possible way, because in addition to places like Comic-Con, which traditionally was where places Marvel, etc., would save their big announcements for, now Disney has their own event and venue to hold on and release those types of surprises for their most loyal fans. So what I'm most excited for about Expo is what we don't know about Expo. That being said, we already know a lot, and I want to share a little bit with you in terms of some of the higher profile thing. Look, when you go to Expo, for me, the presentations and the panels that are sort of the big three is Parks and Resorts, Disney Studios, and there's usually Parks and Resorts and Studios are the major ones, and then a few of the smaller panels as well. But this year, they are going to have, if you are a fan of the parks and the experiences and the products, there's a lot going on, not just on the stages, but on the show floor as well. So, for example, there's going to be a new Disney Parks pavilion that's going to have an insider's look at new themed lands, attractions, shows, and more. Notice, themed lands, that's interesting. Attractions, what we know, I think what we don't know. And look, to be clear, I know nothing. I am speculating as a fan. We know that Epcot is coming. We see changes. The handwriting is on the wall. I think those new lands and attractions, I think the new attractions are going to be not just in Epcot, but man, oh man, my little nerdy Tomorrowland 1971 heart of hearts tells me that Tomorrowland may or may not just be getting a little bit more of a refresh and an upgrade and a reimagineering beyond the just wait until you ride Tron coaster that is under construction right now. So the Disney Parks Pavilion is going to have Imagining Tomorrow today, which is going to give guests a look at exciting developments underway at the Disney parks around the world, including the aforementioned historic transformation of Epcot. We are also going to find out some of Tony Stark's latest plans to recruit guests alongside the Avengers in fully immersive areas filled with action in Hong Kong, Paris, and California. Nothing about Walt Disney World yet. And there's also going to be a Hall D23 presentation with Bob Chapek, who's the chairman of Parks, Experiences, and Products, on Sunday at 10:30. And I think we're going to learn more about sort of these lands and attractions that are going to be sort of this transformative storytelling. This is the one that I personally am waiting for more than anything else. It is the Web, W-E, I think they've announced what this is. Well, let's just call it the Spider-Man, a attraction that is going to be coming. Obviously, we know there's going to be a lot in terms of Epcot Center, and we already see some of the concept art in terms of the reimagining. We've already seen the monoliths going away in terms of the Leave a Legacy. The old fountain is going to be back in some way, shape, or form. Even those flags are reminiscent of the opening day ceremony. So I think what we're going to start to see in the parks is everything that is old is going to be new again. Let's just sort of leave it that way. There's going to be some first-timers this time. So this year will mark the first time that Lucasfilm proper is going to be making an appearance on the show floor and on the stage as well. Again, when you get to things like the studios, we're going to see footage from Frozen 2. I think we're going to see footage from some as yet unannounced films as well. They're also going to go from the big screen to the little screen and the really little screens, because we're going to also get our sneak peek at what Disney Plus is going to look like when it launches in November. Would you just launch it already and take my money? Disney, I want to give you my $6.99 a month right now because of all the things that are coming. I am so excited for what Disney Plus is going to be, because again, I think they've only hinted in terms of what some of the legacy content and, more importantly, what the new, fresh, unique content to the platform is going to be. We know about some of the Marvel things, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I won't say anything anymore about that because if you haven't seen Endgame, I don't want to spoil it for you. But some of the additional expanded universe storytelling elements from a Marvel perspective. There's also going to be new content from Disney, from Star Wars. So Netflix, if you're not worried, I would start. I mean, Stranger Things and The Rain, I love it all, but you're going to have to step up your game, baby, because Disney Plus is coming. And on so the studio's presentation is going to be on Saturday at 10 a.m. Again, we're going to learn more about not just the studio proper, but Pixar, and certainly, listen, Marvel, I think, as much as I think this weekend this weekend at Comic-Con, we're going to learn some more of what's coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I wonder how much they're going to save for D23 Expo. Do we learn about Phase 4 at Comic-Con, or do we learn about Phase 4 at D23 Expo? Or is it maybe some sort of a balance between the two? That's going to be very, very interesting. Something else that's new is, and this is where I think things are going to get curiouser and curiouser, is now that the Fox deal is done and the ink is dry and we're all one big happy family now, I think this is where we're going to be introduced to how and where Disney is going to start leveraging some of those properties. Case in point, first time ever, obviously, The Simpsons are going to be at D23 Expo, and they're going to be in the arena, which they haven't used over the past couple of years. The arena is part of the expo, the convention center, but it's huge. Fun spot reference. It's huge, and they haven't really utilized it as much over the years as they did earlier on, like when they did the Sherman concert, when they did the Alan Menken concert. But they're going to be the Simpsons creator and voice actors are going to be there for a panel. So Matt Groening is going to be there. The executive producers are going to be there. Nancy Cartwright, Yardley Smith are going to be there. And they're also going to give you an opportunity to meet Bart and Lisa and the rest of the Simpsons family on the convention floor. They're going to do an autograph session right after the panel. If you're not online for that one yet, you're already too late. Also, Disney Legends are back again this year. This is always a lot of fun. It's hosted by Bob Iger, and this year's recipients include Wing Chow, some man named Robert Downey Jr. You may remember him from such films as everything you've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the past 10 years. Oh, Jon Favreau, How I Love You So. Who's the Wild Man Now? It's from Rudy. He made me cry then. You make me cry in the best possible way now. James Earl Jones, I won't even bother trying to do a bad James Earl Jones impression. Bette Midler, who you may remember from such Disney MGM Studios films as The Lottery, random. Kenny Ortega, Barnett Reedke, Robin Roberts, Diane Sawyer, Ming-Na Wen, and Hans Zimmer. Play it again, Hans. Also, as part of the Fox deal, National Geographic is going to be making an appearance at the expo for the very first time. I think we are going to hear from and see more some of the tips of the iceberg in terms of what from the Fox deal is going to start being rolled out in terms of being folded into the D20 the Disney family and umbrella. There's going to be a lot of stuff to see just from those two presentations of taking The Simpsons out. The Parks and Resorts and the Disney Studios presentations will once again be clearly the most popular ones. I only hope that they are able to simulcast them other places inside the convention center for those people who can't get in. But if they bring those into the arena, there's hopefully room for everybody. And certainly we will be there covering for you. If you can't get there, you'll be able to join us all 3 days live. We have lots of fun stuff planned. Also, You may or may not realize there's an opportunity to buy merchandise, like insert Spaceballs reference here, merchandising. Lots of merchandise. Some things have been revealed already. There's going to be Shop Disney, Disney Store, Disney Dream Store, Mickey's of Glendale, and the Mickey's of Glendale pin store. They had so many pins, they brought it into its own pin store. There's going to have new collections celebrating anniversaries and favorite characters from Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, as well as all the official D23 Expo 2019 stuff. And they keep on making reference, not just in the in terms of merchandise, but nostalgic Disney park inspired items, celebrating heritage. I think that is not going to just be in terms of what is going to be for sale, but I really think it's going to represent an overall theme for not just the upcoming celebration of Walt Disney World's 50th in 2021, but this reimagining of Epcot. I believe there's going to be an additional major change to a land in Magic Kingdom. I also don't believe that other than Galaxy's Edge, there's not additional expansion planned for other parks as well. Again, I'm speculating as a fan. I know nothing, but I think Disney has really been listening to and feeling the pulse of the fandom, not just the family that's coming for the very first time or hasn't been here in 10 years, but those of us who've been fans for these 5 decades and miss certain characters, certain feels, certain attractions. And I think they very much are going to play to that in terms of what is coming to Epcot, what I think is coming to Magic Kingdom, and I think elsewhere throughout the parks and resorts as well. Chef Bob, what's going on, brother? I have to call you because I need to come in this weekend. I mean, I literally need to come in this weekend. There are other panel presentations, the music and sounds of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. If you haven't seen it yet, just wait. I cannot wait for celebrating 50 years of the Haunted Mansion. Somebody take my credit card because otherwise the mansion merch can do it. Immersive storytelling in the Disney parks. Travels with Marty, a conversation with the Sklars and Imagineers. Behind the art of Disney costuming. The heroes, villains, and the spaces in between. And I remember I just was looking earlier tonight. I found pictures from that very first expo and saw when they had so many of the costumes on display from Tron, from Black Hole, which I just made my son watch last week. Inspiring women behind Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. My fantastical Walt Disney Imagineering career with Kevin Rafferty, who is an amazing guy, like just as a person, not just as an Imagineer. Mark Davis, in his own words, imagining the Disney theme park. There's also lots of signings at the Disney store. Noah's going to be there again. And we always seem to have our booth right near Noah. He's like the nicest, most talented guy on the planet. Ashley Eckstein is going to be there again for her universe. So there is a lot that is coming to Expo. I love that as we're starting to get down, literally we are almost exactly a month away from D23 Expo, starting to whet our appetite in terms of releasing and revealing what is going to be there. Something else that they announced too that they haven't done in the past and really haven't explained more. We'll learn more as the August 5th date, as people start to receive their tickets. You are going to be able to start making advanced seating reservations for some of the presentations and panels to obviate the very long, sometimes frustrating lines. So I applaud you, D23, for recognizing a common pain point every year for guests who are spending a lot of time in lines, sometimes not being able to get in even after waiting, to coming up with some other kind of system to allow them to find out where they're going to be able to go and really sort of plan out their days a little bit better. So it's very exciting. I'm going to be very curious to see from a personal perspective how much of what I think is going to happen might actually, some of the things I've shared with you, some of them I've kept to myself because I just sort of have a little bit more of a gut feeling, but I think we're going to be talking about Epcot a lot in our live broadcasts from the booth on the show floor, as well as when we recap it after we get back. I know they're going to do the costume contest again this year. Anybody ever been in has anybody ever come to Expo either in costume or in cosplay? And if so, what have you? I would love to come as Spider-Man this year. The tights, this is not a body made for a lot of things. Running and tights are definitely one of them. Chef Bob, I blame this body on you. This is Body by Boathouse, ladies and gentlemen, which is why I cannot wear my Spidey tights nor my underoos. Dave Brookover, you're supposed to be able to sign up for the sessions, I believe, August 5th. Somewhere around August 5th is when I believe they said guests should be receiving their tickets and credentials. And once you have those in hand, that's when they will, allow you to start being able to register. If you don't have your tickets yet, they are still available at D23Expo.com. However, Saturday is completely sold out, and I don't remember Saturday selling out as a whole. I'm not sure if it ever did before, or I think maybe last year it did very close, but even you can no longer even buy a 3-day ticket, so you can get individual tickets for Friday and Sunday. And if you're a gold member, I think you save $10 on each of those. So it's very interesting to see how this has evolved over the years. And I absolutely want to take your calls about Expo. So yeah, it didn't. Becky, I think it did sell out last year, but I think it didn't happen until much closer. I mean, we're a month out and it's already sold out, and I'm not sure it did so early last year. I certainly do want to take, your calls and your questions about Expo if you have any. So let me pull up the call-in number. Right? Oh gosh, Skype, could you be any worse than you are? Hang on one second. I have to try and log in again. Does anybody remember my Skype password? This is going to be horrible when I can't. Wait a minute. Yep, still not right. And that's still not right. Ay, Dios mío. Hang on a second. I got to try and find my password. I don't know why it's logged me out. But in the meantime, so don't call in yet. Wait, let me get rid of this. Don't try and call in yet because I can't. I literally can't log in. Let's see. Oh, that's it. There you go. It's Beci. I always forget how to spell her name. All right, now you can call in if you have any kind of questions. There we go. We'll do it this way. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air. Or maybe you're not. Hold on. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Hello, Lou Mongello. It's Darlene Nagy.
From?
I'm going to say from Davenport right now.
What? How are you?
I am wonderful. In a little pain and sore, but I'm doing well.
Good. Wow, you're from Davenport. Deirdre's watching from the Contemporary. I think this is. I love this. So.
So D23. How far in advance do you know what's kind of going to be like set up in that, and who's going to be there?
So they've been announcing guests for a while. I didn't go through the entire list. So in terms of panelists and presenters, that's what's starting to come out now. We've obviously known who the D23 legends are going to be. But a lot of times, too, as we start to get closer, they'll announce additional panels and presentations. We don't have a full schedule as yet. That has not been officially released, which makes us think and know that there's still more to come, and I like how they're sort of dripping it out, and I think over the next couple of weeks we'll have a full slate and a full schedule.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I can't wait to see everything and watch.
What is the
with
one thing
everybody.
you're most excited to see or learn about?
Oh, I think I'm excited to learn about like what is going to be coming up next, because I know that they've got a ton of stuff planned, and especially with the anniversary coming up in that,
Right.
I think they're going to be starting to roll out some of those like sneak peeks of what's coming for us.
I think there's good stuff ahead, Darlene Nagy. I think there's some interesting things coming down the pike that they haven't even hinted at as yet. So
Oh,
I will
and
bring
you're
it to
gonna
you
be right
live.
there.
I will bring it to you live all 3 days.
Oh, yes. Now, what are those dates again? So everybody listening knows what those dates are.
I have no recollection. No, it's the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of August.
Perfect. That is awesome. You have a wonderful night, brother, and I will talk to you and see you real soon.
You too. Take care. Thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, Corey Bassett, keeper of the box. The app is going to come eventually as well. And I know the app has always improved as well over the last couple of years. Becky wants to take bets on what costume you can get me into this year. I did actually find a picture of me in the Thor costume. I was very, very smart not to. If they do the muscle ones that have like, look, a little corset in the middle, maybe I'll put those on. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Hey, how are you, Lou? It's Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa, how are you?
Oh, and good, and Andrew's here too. Yeah.
What's going on, Andrew?
We're getting excited for all the stuff that's coming out for the expo.
I am as well. And for those of you who don't know, both Vanessa and Andrew are longtime bloggers over at the WDW Radio blog. So thanks for all that you do. You guys are coming out for Expo. What are you most looking forward to seeing?
I'm really looking forward to the Parks and Resorts panel or presentation, because I always like to see what's happening in a few years.
Yeah.
That's always fun, but it's a long wait for that one too.
It is. And I think even more so this year, that's going to be the especially after last year, or after 2 years ago, after all of the surprise announcements that we got, I think people are even more excited, especially with this Epcot transformation and with the 50th coming up. This is the time that they're going to make all those announcements.
Right. And I'm hoping they say something about the new ships that are coming out as well, like a little sneak peek of some of the new stuff.
I think we're going to get the names of the ships. I think
class.
this is where, this is where they're going to do it. And I would love to see some more concept art, or maybe even some construction photos.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and also that immersive world where how they bring the stories to life in a Disney park sounded really interesting.
Yeah, I love the lineup this year. I mean, it's always hard for me to get to as many things that I would like to see, because I'm sort of juggling the live and the booth and whatnot. So it's hard, because I am a fan first. I want to go to those things, but by the same token, I have to sort of manage the booth. So we'll.
Well, Andrew and I will be covering it for you.
Good. You're going to have to come back with all kinds of info and details and pictures and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we'll get you covered.
Good. I look forward to seeing you guys out there.
Oh, yep. We'll see you there.
Sounds good. Have
Bye.
a good night.
Hello.
How you doing, Andrew?
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I forgot to even mention the cruise line. So it's gonna be very. Keith Groshans is at the rainy. If it's raining inside the Carousel of Progress, Keith, you're doing the carousel. Something's wrong. Something's very, very wrong. So. Typical summer afternoon evening storms. So, anybody know if they allow plastic lightsabers into the Expo Center? I have to get a check when entering comic conventions. Erica, I don't know how they're going to do it this year. I know in the past, I have seen people with lightsabers. You do have, like any Comic-Con, you do have to check any sort of weapon-like item. But I do believe lightsabers were allowed last time. Hey, it's Lou. You are on the air.
Hi, Lou. It's Caleb.
I'm sorry. Who's this?
Caleb Hill.
Hey, Caleb. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. What are you most looking forward to for Expo?
I think I'm breaking up.
I think we lost Caleb. Sorry about that, Caleb. One of us has a bad connection. I'm not sure which one of us might be. Let's see. Well, I streamed from the Parks panel. Rachel, no, they don't allow streaming from the panels. Some of them let me rephrase that. Some of them they do, some of them they don't. I don't expect Disney. Well, and listen, I would love if Disney did it themselves, so that we could all watch it together. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Oh my gosh, this has never happened to me before. Hello.
Never? Ever?
No,
Who
I've never
this?
called into the live show before.
Who are you? And where are you calling from?
I'm so sorry. This is Gabby from Columbia, Maryland.
Gabby from Columbia, Maryland. You call the voicemail, though, all the time, and I always see pictures of you running, and it looks exhausting.
It's quite fun, though. It's all in good fun. And then I burn all the calories just so I can constantly eat around Disney, of course.
That's the part that I miss. I eat all the calories. I just don't burn them off at all.
Oh, God. It's okay. I'm so excited for Expo. This will be Joe and I's third Expo.
I know. I remember seeing you guys there in the past. What are you most looking forward to? Is it parks? Is it movies? Is it meeting people? Is it the show floor? Is it the shopping? For some people, shopping is the reason why they go.
Right. Something that I'm strangely looking forward to, the past two Expos, the animation panel has ended with some kind of live performance from the big animated movie coming out. So last year, or the last time, was Coco, and then the year before that was Moana.
Mm-hmm.
And we listened to the performance, and we're like, wow, this is amazing, such a great song, but it's a whole other thing when we finally see the movie, and we're like, wow, this is the most amazing song.
Right.
So I think that's what I'm looking forward to this year. And, of course, the squishy carpet at the booth as I rest my feet. Because those are some long days. Oh,
and listen, I have got to say, if you like the squishy carpet at the booth, you can thank and book with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel because, like the quote from the old Once Upon a Time TV show, everything comes at a price, dearie. And squishy carpet comes at a very hefty. Becky and I just went shopping this past week for all of our Expo stuff, and
awesome.
Yeah, the squishy carpet is. You should be able to take it home for that much. Really.
I know, really.
But
awesome. But nice talking to you.
You too. I look forward to seeing you in literally just a few weeks.
I know. We'll see you then.
See you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yes, Becky, thank you. I kid with you, but the squishy carpet's very nice. I'm not going to lie. It is a long 4 days of setup and being on your feet the whole time. And yeah, Brian, I think you're definitely going to get the names of the new ships this year. I think you'll get at least 2 of the ship names, and I do think we'll get more in terms of what they look like and how they differ from the dream and the fantasy. So, I am looking. We'll take parks and resorts and the studios presentations out of the equation. The thing that I love and I have always loved best about Expo is you, and what I mean by that, it's getting to meet other fans, because that's what this is. Like, it's a gathering place for the official community of Disney fans from around the world. That it's different than other like comic book conventions and superhero conventions, because the expression of the fandom manifests itself in so many different ways. For some people, it's dressing up. For other people, it's displaying some of their pins or their collectibles or something that they made. But there's this warmth and this welcoming and this friendliness that's there that's fascinating. And honestly, my favorite part of the show floor does not come from the official Disney booths and vendors. It comes from where we are in the collectors forum, because those are the real fans that get to express that fandom in lots of different ways, whether they are, a content creator, if they're a travel provider. And I think that's where some of the vendors have like the really cool stuff, because it's almost like, a Disney nerdy, Marvel-y, Pixar-y, very nice flea market. And what I mean by that is, it's where you find the vintage stuff. It's where you find the signed stuff. You'll find people signing things in booths. It's where you'll be able to come to our booth and not have to wait on a 5-hour line, because we're going to have special guests come in doing demonstrations, doing signings, broadcasting to you who don't get to be there. Last year we had a ton of people scheduled to, and sometimes randomly, come by the booth. There was actually one point I didn't get a chance to get him on camera, but he was talking with my kids, and Kevin Feige had come by the booth, and we're talking to my kids. My son still tells me every day how much he loved the fact that Kevin Feige said, "I love hearing you on the live review shows," and now that's all the kid wants to do is live reviews. Hey, it's Lou, you're on the air, and Kevin Feige, I love you, by the way.
We got to talk about this squishy carpet, because
it's too soon, Becky. The wound for you is too deep.
We don't need to tell them what, but we got the invoice for that squishy carpet.
Please book
today.
with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for the love of God. Just do it for the squishy carpet.
Because I just want to throw in two little pieces of things you've already touched on. The first one is that very first year of tear down the wall between the two of us and creating this this thing that has grown and gotten bigger and bigger and bigger every time that we've done it.
Are you talking about me getting bigger and bigger, Because I too have also gotten bigger every time we've done this.
I think actually both of us kind of
Look
fall
how
into that
skinny
category.
I was back then. Good
We
Gandhi.
worked hard.
And I had pants
hard,
on. Like
just saying. But you're the box scenario where you just showed that wonderful picture of you smiling and happy and laying across those boxes like you were like the happiest person in the world. That was not you. Let's be honest. That's the very
I was literally, I think I was crying at that point, and then you looked down at me like with this. You almost had a little bit of sympathy in your eye for me.
I did. I actually did. I think that's when we bonded.
That was a turning point.
I think that was the very first time that I ever noticed that your eyebrows do go together.
Wow.
You had such a scowl on your face.
I didn't have a scowl.
Yes.
It was a little frustrating. It was it was frustrating to say the least. Let's just leave it that way.
In all honesty, I think D23 Expo has been the thing that has really solidified the WDW Radio and the Mouse Fan Travel family. Because just like a family, we've been through good times, we've been through bad times, but it's always such a wonderful experience going through all the gyrations to set it up, to get everything in place, to go shopping together. I mean,
it's a pro. I mean, and this is not a complaint, but it is something that, and I know you prefer to wait till the very last minute, but I like to sort of get these things. I like to try and plan these things out ahead of time. You prefer to, you keep saying we have plenty of time. We have plenty of time. I'm like, Becky, it's a year away. We've got to get this done.
I'm sweating right now. I'm so sweating.
Wait, we actually have a call about Expo after this too?
Yes, we do. Yep, we have a meeting all about this. But the other thing I want to throw in there is we're, families sometimes argue, and one of the things that we argued about was the squishy carpet, because at the very beginning, you were like, "You really don't need squishy carpet," the princess's feet or whatever you wanted to talk about. That was one of the best investments that we made. Sure, we could
David
probably...
Potts wants to know what noise you just made out of your mouth. David, I have no idea. I will tell you that during Expo, things come out of Becky's mouth that I just... words and noises that I have never heard. It's like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in there. It's
That's when my inner Deadpool tends to come out sometimes.
Yeah.
Just I own it. I own it. I mean, come on. You might be wearing your Spider-Man outfit. I'll wear Deadpool. At least we're both red, and you know.
Yeah,
what are you gonna say?
I've got 4 weeks to get in Tom Holland like shape. So
yeah, good luck with that.
I don't think Tijuana Flats helped at all today. By the way,
I don't think running to the local
burritos
gym can help me at all.
Burritos were not. It was not a good idea.
I think I remember last time going, you know what? I'm going to be skinny so I can actually fit in one of those dresses that are on display that you always say, you'll wear a dress. Well, yeah, good luck with that. I think that's why I can't lose weight, because I'm afraid you're going to get me in one of those dresses. But going back to the squishy carpet.
Dresses come in every size, just so you know.
Oh,
dresses come in
yeah, but
every
not
size.
Those dresses. You know what I'm talking about.
Maybe everybody, we should talk about raising money for the children to get Becky in a dress. We'll talk about that as we get closer.
I was going to say, this doesn't start until we're actually standing on the floor.
Yeah,
you want to talk about things for the children?
If we start the process earlier, who knows?
Do you really want to start talking about things you can do for the children? Do you really want to play that game?
I've done a lot for the children. So listen, there's another caller coming through, Becky Mankin, and we're starting to lose our connection.
But I'm going to go back to really quickly the squishy carpet, because I was right. Please just say one time out loud.
You're definitely right. The squishy carpet is awesome. It's just insane. Again, please book with MEI and Mousefan Travel at mousefantravel.com just for the squishy carpet.
Thank you. All right. We will talk to you later. Hi, everybody. It's great to see everyone in the box. I love Wednesdays. And someday I'm going to talk him into doing something with me on a Wednesday.
Caller coming in.
Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Sorry about that.
Hello? Lost him again. Try again. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Hey, Lou. It's Chris Ann and Joe Bigliotti from Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
From Point Pleasant, New Jersey. So let's see. It's the middle of July in Point Pleasant. People are out with their T-tops off, going down, with their arms on their wheels, blasting Kajagoogoo and going to get sausage and pepper sandwiches.
Oh, you know it, and going nowhere because everybody's here at this point.
I'm sure. Again, that's one of the things I miss about the shore is just those nights walking down the boardwalk and just eating that Jersey food, and it's that's a show in and of itself. Just wandering.
Oh, absolutely. You got that right. All right, so Lou, we're trying to connect with you. We have our vacation coming up. We'll be down there August 14th. We're hoping we can hook up with you at some point. We got any meat of the month for August before you go?
I do, as a matter. So you're coming August 14th?
We will be there the 14th.
Because I'm leaving for Expo like the 15th.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
Yeah, I leave. We're going in a couple of days early. Not only to set up, but going to get a couple of days out in the parks. My kids haven't been there. And I no longer have a choice. They're like, Dad, just so you know, we're coming to Expo. We'll talk about it. They're like, no, we're coming to Expo. So unless I catch you, maybe we'll keep in touch as we get closer. I will certainly try my best to catch you before we go. But yeah, I'm leaving I think I fly out the 15th or 16th.
All right, because we're foodies also, Lou. We have California Grill, Via Napoli, Narcosis.
Cancel Expo.
We got Boathouse.
They're
all on the list.
I'm staying with the Bigliottis, and we're just going to eat our way through Disney World.
That's it. We know where the good stuff is. We go every year for 2 weeks. We love it.
I dig how you people roll.
Oh, absolutely. And I was going to say, we meet up, Lou. We get one of these meat of the months. We'll bring you a nice little surprise from New Jersey that only New Jersey has.
We will. I promise we will do. I will do my best to make it happen.
All right. We'll be in touch as we get closer.
Sounds good. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Enjoy the shore.
All right. Thanks, Lou.
All right.
We will.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, the Jersey Shore. I do not have photos from the Jersey Shore, at least not ones that I that I care to share. Let's just leave it at that. All right, if there's any, let's see, do we have any more? Let me put this back up here again. If anybody else wants to call in, last couple of questions, and then I want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we go. I thought about Saved by the Bell. Hello? Oh, lost it again. Looks like we lost it. All right, so I had thought about for a second revealing to you guys first who our first keynote speaker was going to be for Momentum this year, to sort of switch. Everything happens for me like all in a very short window of time. So I have Expo, Momentum, Japan, UK, and as yet not revealed other speaking and traveling in there as well. Just very quickly, if anybody is considering coming to Momentum, let's just say that the keynote speaker has a direct connection to something that I love very, very much. And I will leave it at that. And yes, it is actually Disney related on multiple levels. Now, because you guys are my friends, if you are thinking about coming to Momentum, I want to give you guys a special discount code. I created a code WDW Radio 100. If you guys want to come, it'll save you $100 off. I will tell you that we are more than 50% sold out. I believe as I start to announce the list of speakers and topics, this is when it starts to sell out very quickly. So if you are considering, this discount code is only going to be available until August 1st. So I would hop on it. You are welcome to share this out with anybody that you like. If they're your friends, they are my friends as well. There are a couple of other events that I have coming up. Again, speaking of traveling, I'm also going to be traveling to the UK in November. And yes, I am going to do some type of a meetup or event when I am there. But if you want to come to a very, very cool event put on by my friend Chris Ducker, you can visit youpreneursummit.com. And as long as I am plugging away, if you still want to learn and can't get to Momentum and can't get out to London, but you want to learn some amazing skills from some incredible people online, I'm actually going to be presenting at the Video Marketing Summit, which is an online summit. In just a couple of weeks, I'll be talking about obviously live video and creating community and engagement. And you guys are very much going to be what I talk about a lot. I have a discount that actually expires tonight, so you'll save $270 off the very, very reasonable admission. You don't have to watch it live. You can actually watch those on the replays after it is done, or even so if you can't catch them live. That code, the discount does expire tonight if you guys are interested. So just a quick tangent, a little tangential from anything from a business perspective. Or again, I want to try and help you guys turn what you love into what you do. Those are the way to do it. Let's see. What else am I forgetting before we head out tonight? Oh, I want to say a quick thanks again to everybody who is a member of the WDW Radio Nation. You guys continue to amaze and humble and just impress me in so many ways, and really what you do by being part of the Nation family really does go a long way towards helping to keep the lights on. And I also love being able to give back to you with the scavenger hunts and the live video calls and the early access and the discounts and some of the other things I have planned coming up for the Nation. So to find, and don't forget that a portion of the proceeds does go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So you're doing good, not just for WDW, but for Make-A-Wish as well. Corey, yes, I have been overwhelmed by as many as I got, but I promise to start getting back to everybody as soon as I can. Jimmy Kenny's been listening to over 10 years by ever coming to Boston. Jimmy, I would love to come up to Boston. I hear the food is phenomenal. I just need to be able to tie it into some type of an event, some sort of a speaking opportunity. So if there's a conference, an event, or a school, that would make things much easier in order to make my way up there and then do a an on the road meetup while we are there. Louise Gibbons says, whereabouts in London? I'm speaking at the Queen Elizabeth Center, the QE2 Center, something like that. Something with the Queen. Not at the Queen's house, but the QE2 Center, something like that. It's supposed to be lovely, like right in the center of London. But I will be doing some type of a meetup, a meetup that includes a meal, something. Once I get out there and get a little bit more detail. So the conference runs until, I believe, the 11th. And then I'll probably do something over the couple of days right after. So somewhere around the 12th or the 13th. Julie DeAngel Guevara, I do need an executive assistant. If you know one, have that person reach out to me, because if you saw my desk and the wall, you'd be like, yes, you really, really do. So, yes, just keep sending me pictures of Boston food, and we will make it happen. Martin Shergold, I can't wait to see you in the UK and in Japan, brother. Japan is like just a few months away. Brains falling out of head. I cannot wait to get there. This is the trip that I've been waiting for, and Martin's coming, so I still think we have like one spot left. If anyone wants to come for Martin, stay for Japan. That place in London that has something to do with the Queen. I think it's called the QE2 Center. If somebody goes to youpreneur.com, it'll tell you exactly where it is. It doesn't say. Yeah, youpreneursummit.com. So, and it's one of the stops in Spider-Man Far From Home. So I'll be like, oh, Spidey was here. If you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? Although my family is seeing Spider-Man Far From Home again without me. It just goes to show you that I love you more. That not only do I love you more than 3000, I love you more than Spider-Man. And that's speaking monstrous volumes. Oh, wait. Speaking of who just said that he's been listening for 10 plus years. Let me go back. I don't remember. I don't know. Whoever said you were listening I know some of you have been listening for a long, long time. I actually was getting something. I was getting a book off my shelf behind me, which needs to be cleaned and put up on eBay. Bill Daniel, yes, we do still have New Orleans spot left. We still do have some New Orleans spots left, and we'll have more details about doing a little pre-New Orleans get-together while we are there, right before our cruise, February 7th to the 14th, 2020. I cannot wait for that. Oh, just beignets and the upgraded Disney Wonder. So top 1,000 reasons why I can't go to New Orleans. But I was on there and look what I found. I think we were talking about this not too long ago. This is one of my early iPods. Now, obviously you see that I have a protective case on it, right? This was the old white iPod. And one of my first cases was, no surprise to anybody, it was a protective Mickey Mouse case. And believe it or not, like, the show is still on there. I don't know if you guys can see that. From show 74 from July of 2018. Whoops. From July of 2018. So I can't believe that these have been sitting on there for 11 plus years. That's crazy. That is crazy. I plugged it in tonight. I was amazed that it's still, what shows do I have back to? Yeah, I have back to show 65. Wow, even the old logo. Look at that. That's like one of the early iterations of the logo. Hey, stop it. Come on now. Focus. It focuses and it goes off. Anyway. So I can't believe my little old iPod. It was an 80 gigabyte iPod. You'll never be able to fill up 80 gigabytes, says people with, terabyte drives now. So anyway, I do need to get going because I have to have my next call with Her Majesty herself, the lovely and squishy carpeted Becky Menken from MEI. So, Eddie, no, this was actually an earlier. So if you look really carefully, the font was slightly different. I had sort of used a WDW script type font. A couple other minor tweaks here and there. There may or may not be another tweak coming. I shouldn't have said that. Dave Coviello loved hearing the full theme. Yeah, Dave Rashoni, if you're watching, you and Kathy, that was all you. Not me singing. Not me singing. Any or all parts of the WDW Radio theme song. That's all Dave Rashoni. And if you need a jingle for your show, a video that you're doing, go to djrmusic.com because he's a good guy and remarkably talented as well. So whatever happened to the Queen Becky puppet, don't worry, she's here. Where is she? She's right. There she is. Right next to the orange bird. She hasn't gone away. Who knows? Maybe she'll make a trip out to the D23 Expo. But that is going, it is not Eddie Kern. It's not me singing, I promise. That is going to do it for the show tonight. Thank you guys again so very much for watching. Don't forget that if you are not a member of the Box People group, please, please, please go and join. More importantly, I would love this week if you could just sort of make an effort and try and get at least one person to tune into the show, subscribe, and join our community over at www.com/boxpeople. Again, thanks to all of you who are part of the WDW Radio Nation. If you are looking to come to Momentum, there is the code again. Again, you are free to share that with anyone and wherever you guys would like. I will also be live, like I said, from... where am I going to be? I'm going to be live on Friday from Disney's Animal Kingdom in the morning. Not sure exactly what time or how the morning is going to go out, but sometime in the morning, probably before 12, 1 o'clock, I think is when it's going to be over. We're going to see some of the new things that are happening over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, including over at Conservation Station. Next week, I'll be live from on Thursday from Disney Springs. Going to have some cool stuff to show you there. And if there's ever anything at all that I can do for you to say thank you, please, 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 please let me know. I love you. I appreciate you. And I cannot wait to see you either next week in the box, on the show, in the community, and or at D23 Expo. If you're coming to Expo, come to the Box People group. Let us know because we'll absolutely be doing a meetup at Expo in the box. It's going to be a box. It's a rectangle. We're going to be in the booth. We'll definitely be doing a meetup there. So thank you guys so much. I love you. So until next time, see ya.